have white friends.
You got white friends. I said associates.
You have single white friend.
No,
Like Angelo Dundee.
No, it's associate. I don't have one black friend hardly. A friend is one who will not even consider giving his life for you. That's a friend. One who will not even think about it. A friend is one who is he's always got desire to give and to keep back nothing. Always desire to give and not look for nothing in return. Everybody you name are with me for money and for what they can get. I don't have no friends. I wrote a poem that says, friendship is a priceless gift that cannot be bought nor sold, but its value is far greater than a mountain made of gold. For gold is cold and lifeless. It can neither see nor hear, and in time of trouble it is powerless to cheer. Gold, it has no ears to listen, no heart to understand. It cannot not bring you comfort and reach out a helping hand. So when you ask God for gift, be thankful if he sends, not diamonds, pearls, or riches, but the love of real, true friends. See, friends are very rare. So what I'm trying to say, no, I got a lot of white socialists. Elijah Muhammad, the one who preached at the white man of America, number one is the devil. He's been preaching. He's never met in England. England people have never lynched us, raped us, castrated us, tarred and feathered us, burned us up, pulled our sockets apart, stick knives and pregnant women's stomach, enslave us, rob us.
Just real quick, I know he's wrong about that, because the England, the people here in America, the so-called white people that came here in America, it came from England, alright? So they're devils too, alright? All you so-called white people around the world are devils, man. The white people here in America, the white people in Russia and England and Australia, and wherever your seed is scattered, you are devils, alright? I just wanted to say that.
My name, my knowledge of God. Elijah Muhammad's been preaching that the white man of America, God taught him, is the blue-eyed, blonde-headed devil. No good in him, no justice. He's going to be destroyed. His rule is over. He is the devil.
Okay, Shalom. I'd like to give all Hashem HaKadosh, the honors to the apostles of GMS of Great Millstone. Salutations, Shalom, blessings to the elect through the four corners of the earth. Alright, as you saw, alright, this is a video, an interview that was taken back in 1974, alright, and the man you saw was Muhammad Ali, of course, which recently had passed away about a year ago, alright, and he was being interviewed by a name called Michael Parkinson, as you can see right in the bottom, right? And basically, you know, what the conversation that they were having was, is the white man in America the devil? Alright, and Muhammad Ali, you know, as you saw, had no problem saying that the white man is a devil in front of the devil himself, in front of Michael Parkinson, which is an Edomite man. Alright, and he didn't think twice. He wasn't scared. He just said it flat out. You are the devil, man. Alright, and indeed you people are the devil. Okay, and Muhammad Ali was right. Alright, he said a couple things right. He said the white man's rulership is done, man. Alright, he's gonna be destroyed. Alright, and who's gonna bring that destruction? Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, Salaki, hold on. Let the noise pass. I don't want people. Bear with me. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, Salaki. It's not easy doing videos and then you have people here listen. I don't know if people listen, but alright. Anyways, like I was saying, alright, Muhammad Ali knew that the so-called white man was the devil, man. Alright. And you know, and as you saw, you know, as you heard, alright, I'm just gonna read it. Right? This is in 1974, in the middle of Michael Parkinson's interview, Muhammad Ali decided to dispense with all the safe conventional chat show etiquette. Alright. he said, this is what Muhammad Ali said. All right, he said, "You say I got white friends." He declared, "I say they are associates." When his host dared to suggest that the boxer's trainer of 14 years standing Angelino Dundee, which was an Edomite, might be a friend, Ali insisted gruffly, "He is an associate." Right? And what is an associate? Well, an associate is someone that connects someone or something with something else in one's mind, a partner or a colleague in business or at work. Okay? A person with limited or subordinate membership in an organization. All right? And that's all the so-called white man was to Muhammad Ali. Why? All right? And why did Muhammad Ali say that? All right? I'm going to tell you why. All right? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Okay? That's why Muhammad Ali said that, man. Because he knew that it's a lot. Because Muhammad Ali knew that the white man was the devil, man. Alright? It's so hard making a video when you live with people, but anyways, you know, he knew that the white man was the devil, man. Alright? Unlike a lot of Jake today, man. A lot of Jake don't know, or a lot of Jake do know, but they don't want to admit it, man. Alright? They want to be in that Stockholm syndrome, alright, of loving the white man. Alright? When the white man every day for the past 500 plus years and more has shown that he hates you. Alright? He hates the Negroes of America and Latinos of America, Native Americans of America. He hates the children of Israel as a whole, man. And why is that, man? Because that's the spirit the Most High put in this man all the way since the beginning. Alright? In the garden, man. Being that serpent, man. Then being Cain. And then coming back as Esau, Edom, so-called white man, what you see today, man. Okay? That old hatred, that ancient old hatred still exists in him. Alright? And that's why he referred to him as the white man as an associate, man. Just a person to make business with, man. That's all, man. You ain't my friend, you ain't my brother, we just associates. Okay? Within seconds, with Parkinson failing to get word in edgeways, Ali had provided a detailed account of his reasoning. He told TV viewers of 1970s Middle England is the one who approved that the white man of America, number one, is the devil. The whites of America, said Ali, had lynched us, raped us, castrated us, tarred us, and feathered us. Alright, and that's exactly true, man. Alright, you so-called white people, you know what, you did the children of Israel very dirty. Very dirty, alright? You would bring the so-called Negroes on cargo slave ships, you would rape the men, alright? Besides raping women, because it shows how much of a homosexual you so-called white people are, alright? You're a vain, you're a wicked, vile spirit, man. Alright, your spirit in you, you know. As a matter of fact, alright, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is now upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." Alright, and who's that talking about? When it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is now upright in him." That's the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Alright? Alright, your spirit upright, meaning is not good. Alright, you don't know how to be righteous. You don't know how to do good. You don't know how to do righteousness, because the spirit that the Most High put in you is not upright. Alright, which means you're wicked, man. Alright, and the only people that have the upright spirit, alright, are the Israelites, man. But our people, you know, they're wicked right now themselves, man. Alright, our people don't know how to you know, be righteous, man. Alright, technically we're all wicked, but you know, the 2/3 of our people, you know, who don't want to get right, you know, they're not upright either, man. Alright, they wicked too, man. Alright, but continuing on, alright, it says Elijah Muhammad has been preaching the white man of America God taught him is the blue-eyed, blonde-headed devil, which having blue eyes is the deficiency in the color in your eyes, man, because you're supposed to have brown eyes, not blue eyes. All right, having blonde hair, that's leprosy of the scalp. All right, and you can read that in the book of I believe the Leviticus, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, having blue eyes and blonde hair is unclean to the Most High. All right, and that's a sin. All right, to look like a so-called white man. All right, you got Israelites that are scattered amongst the nation of Edom that look like so-called white people. All right, and a good example of that, I'm going to show you right now. All right, because I made a video in the summertime. All right, about this rapper. All right, name. All right, I don't listen to him. Is Logic. Okay, this guy right here. All right, and you would think by looking at him, he's a so-called white man. He's a so-called white. He's an Edomite. In reality, he's not, man. He's a Judite, man. This guy's a Judite. All right. And why do I say that? Because his father's a Judite, man. All right. That's his father right there. See, this is the video that see, that's his father right there to the left, and that's his brother right there, man. All right. So you're gonna tell me he's not an Israelite, man? He's not a Judite. He's an Edomite just because he looks like a so-called white boy. All right. And that's what a lot of Israelite camps out there, a lot of guys can't seem to understand. All right, that Israel is going to look like all nations. All right, because the Most High said he's going to scatter us. He's going to scatter our seed, meaning our people are going to be separate from each other. They're going to depart. All right, they were not going to be together no more. All right, and as a people of the Most High, we're supposed to be together. We're not supposed to be away from each other. All right, it's like a mother and her babies. You know, they're supposed to be together. All right, but we're not. All right, and that's all due because the disobedience that our forefathers did to the Most High. All right, which is the results you get today. All right, our people are all destroyed, man. Our people are scattered. We don't know who our people are. All right, that's why the Lord said, "Judge the spirit by the spirit." All right, but anyways, going back to the article. All right, it says the whites of America. Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, he said Elijah Muhammad has been preaching that the white man God taught him is the blue-eyed, blonde-headed devil. No good in him, no justice. He's gonna be destroyed, and he's exactly right, man. All right, because the one who's gonna bring this destruction to you so-called white people in your rulership in your kingdom is Yahweh Shai, man. All right, which who you think is a so-called white man is a so-called black man. Okay. Sorry. All right, this man right here is black, man. Okay, a so-called black man. All right, whether you want to believe it or not, scoff, you so-called white people. All right, the Lord is a so-called black man. All right, from the tribe of Judah. All right, and you know this to be true. All right. So if the Heavenly Father and the Son are black, so-called black, then the people gotta be so-called black. Okay. So how the hell is the Most High gonna be a so-called black man? His son gonna be a so-called black man, but then he's gonna have his people look so-called white. That's confusion, and that'll make the Most High a liar, man. And the Most High is not a man of confusion, and he's not a man that he should lie. Okay. It says the white man is the devil. We do believe that. We know it. Okay. As a matter of fact, all right. Give me a second. Alright, to prove, you know, hey man, Muhammad Ali knew that you so-called white people are the devil. Alright, not just Muhammad Ali. Alright, man, all these nations know, man, today, man, that you so-called white people are the devil, man. Alright, you are the devil, man. Alright, and everybody hates you so-called white people. Alright, I'm gonna bring a scripture out. Alright, I call this the bedtime story. I call this specific chapter in the Bible. I call this Esau's bedtime story. All right, because this whole chapter right here talks about you, Edom, Esau, the so-called white man. All right, this is the judgment that's going to come upon you and your people from the Heavenly Father Himself. Okay, which I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the verse that I want to get is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, I'll start out with verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, the Most High, concerning... let me read it again. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh, thy power, concerning Edom, which Edom is a so-called white race today. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. See? Now that means all nations, man. Alright, everybody hates the so-called white race, man. Because they know you're the devil, man, and they know you bring nothing but trouble. Alright? When you invade another nation's land, alright, or if you set foot in their land, they know you in there just to cause havoc, man. Alright, rape, rob, and murder, man. And that's all you're doing, man. So that's all you've been doing around the whole planet Earth, man. Alright, is rape, rob, and murder, man. Kill people, man. Kill innocent children, people. Alright? What you're doing right now in the Middle East, man. Alright? What you're doing to you know, you're killing the environment, destroying the environment. You know, everything that's beautiful, you so-called white people destroy, man. And this is why the Most High has to destroy your race. Alright? This is why the Lord said we're going to exterminate you. Alright? Once you serve your 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, you so-called white people will be exterminated, man. And that's written in the book of Obadiah, verse 1 verse 18. Alright? And who you call God don't love everybody. He's a racist himself, man. And he happens to be a so-called black man. Alright? And he's not dealing with all nations. Alright? The Bible is only talking about the Israelites, man. From Genesis all the way to Revelations. Alright? It's not talking about no other nation, man. Now it might mention other nations, but that's just you know, the different, you know, it might mention other nations, you know, the other nations put Israel in captivity, but the Lord's not dealing with the other nations, man. All right, He's only dealing with the children of Israel. All right, and He's only coming back for the children of Israel. All right, salvation was only promised to the children of Israel. It wasn't promised to the whole world. All right. In one explosive, virtuous performance, Ali had turned this little TV show into an exposition of his beliefs and the beliefs of 2,500,000 other followers of the radically, to some white minds, dangerously black separatist religious movement, the Nation of Islam. You see, and that's what they label, you know, the Hebrew Israelites. They call them black Hebrew Israelites or black extremists. Okay, they're trying to put the Hebrew Israelites with the Nation of Islam, which the Hebrew Israelites, you know, well, I'll say this: the GMS, all right, GMS, all right, is the only camp that teaches the truth, all right, and they're not no black extremists. They're not part of no organization. They didn't sell out. All right, GMS doesn't take no 501c3, man. All right, GMS is straight up truth. All right, whether you want to believe it or not. All right, the Most High is only dealing with GMS. All right, he's dealing with Apostle Tahar on down to the other apostles through the elders and through down the ranks. All right, GMS is the only camp that teaches the 100% truth of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right. GMS does not take they not sell out. They ain't take no 501c3. All right, they don't go out to gun rages. All right, they don't say that all nations, you know, making this and that. Look, GMS did not take no Judas purse. All right, GMS is the only camp, all right, that's teaching the 100% truth. Okay. Alright, and they're not no religious movement. Alright, they're not no black separatists, because nobody's black. Alright, we're not black Hebrews. Alright, we're Hebrew Israelites. Alright, and the Hebrew Israelites consist of the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native. That's why we say so-called. Alright, because those are not but labels put on by our oppressors, so-called white men. Alright, you white people named us black. You white people named us Latino. Alright, and Native American. Alright, that's not what the Most High called us. Alright, the Most High called us, He gave us God-given heavenly names. Alright, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim. Alright, those are the names that the Most High gave us. Alright, and we're not black Hebrew Israelites. We're Hebrew Israelites. Alright, and we're not part of no religious movement, no government organization or anything. Alright, at the height of his tirade, Ali drew slightly nervous laughter from the studio when he told Parkinson, "You are too small to tackle me on anything I represent." Right? In a way, he was somewhat right, because he knew the white man was a devil. All right, but the other 50% was bugged out, man, because he was in the Nation of Islam. All right, Muhammad Ali was an Israelite. All right, he was not Ishmaelite. All right. Jay likes to be in all types of religions, right? And the Most High didn't create religion; He created nations. But reading on, it says, maybe though it was just Judas' sense of self-preservation and prevented Parky from asking arguably the greatest boxer the world has seen to explain how God had taught Elijah Muhammad about white Americans being blue-eyed devils. Well, first of all, the Most High was not dealing with no Elijah Muhammad. All right, you're not gonna find no book of Muhammad in the Bible. All right, the Lord is not dealing with heathens. All right. To explain that Ali would have to go back to the 1930s and obscure door-to-door salesman in Detroit. Wallace D. Fard, the founder of the Nation of Islam, appears to have married in Detroit in 1930 and began by selling silks to poor black families in the city. His wares, he told his customers, came from their home country. Enough of them were integrated for fraud to get a following and to be able to switch from the Bible to the Quran as the basis of his preaching. My name is W.D. Fard, and I came from the holy city of Mecca. He supposedly told one early gathering, more about myself I will not tell you yet, for the time has not yet come. Okay. That time has still not come when in 1934 Fard mysteriously disappeared. The FBI took the opportunity to creatively fill the gaps. It told one newspaper that Fard had in fact been a white man from New Zealand, and another he had been a Turkish-born Nazi agent who had worked for the Germans during World War II. Not surprisingly, the Nation of Islam has developed a different narrative. Elijah Muhammad, the man who emerged as the leader of the Nation of Islam after the departure of his founder, came to identify Fard with Allah. Okay, which that's not the Most High's name. Allah is just goes back to Hebrew Allahayim, which means power. Okay, but some of this stuff I didn't research, but I'm gonna hopefully look into it. But I read a little bit of this article, which I'm gonna get to it right now. It says, in this scheme of things, Elijah Muhammad, born Elijah Poole, the son of former slaves in Georgia, became the last messengers of Allah. Alright, which that sounds like it could be I don't know, but I'm gonna have to check. But anyways, in a 1996 article that is on the Nation of Islam's website, Elijah Muhammad's wife Tanita wrote that her husband was chosen as a divine representative. And that none of this is, none of that is true. All right, the Most High didn't choose no Elijah Muhammad. All right. Who would preach the Master's mission had been to resurrect his lost and found people who were identified as the original members of the tribe of Shabazz from the lost nation of Asia. I could be wrong. I don't really know who the tribe of Shaba is. That could mean the 10 lost tribes, because you know the story with Christopher Columbus trying to come here to America, trying to find Asia, all right, which is all bullshit, all right, because he knew what he was doing when he came here, all right. He came here to conquer the 10 tribes, all right, and he did that, all right. Well, I should say Esau, because Christopher Columbus didn't even make it to America, all right. He only stopped in the Caribbean, all right. He didn't excel further. He didn't go past that, all right. The one who really found America was Amerigo Vespucci, all right. Then later on, just to put his name back in history, Christopher Columbus came back, with his son, and they show you in the movie 1492, he came back, and discovered the so-called land of Colombia, all right, Panama and stuff like that, just for him, just so that he can be written in history, all right, in so-called history, right, so-called white man's history, all right, which is number white supremacy. But like I said, I could be mistaken. I don't really know if this is actually talking about where it says the tribe of Shabazz. Could be talking about, could be the lost 10 tribes of Israel. I'm not sure. I would have to check up on this, but don't take my suggestion, my advice on that. That's just what I'm doing, but I'm gonna have to look into that. But it says the lost people of the original nation of African descent were captured, exploited, and dehumanized to serve as a servitude slaves of America for over 3 centuries. All right, and that's absolutely true. All right, the Negroes got exploited, they got dehumanized. All right, and dehumanized. They got the so-called black man. He got his manhood taken away, man. All right, because the so-called white man would rape the so-called black man. All right, and that's vile, man. That's disgusting, man. And that shows you how vile the so-called white man is, man. He's a natural homosexual, man. All right, disgusting shit, man. All right, it says Elijah Muhammad told the faithful that the original man from whom came all brown, yellow, red, and white people, all right, was to overcome the oppression of whites, the blue-eyed devils, and form his own nation. All right, well, you see, in that part, it is right, man. I mean, this part where it says, white people, right? Because what you so-called white people, you did come from so-called black people, right? Right? You so-called white people are our brothers, all right? But you're our wicked brother, all right? Because we came from the same mother, all right? As a matter of fact, just to prove it, all right, it's the book of Genesis, all right, chapter all right, so like this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse start at 23. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. All right, so these are 2 separate nations. All right, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. All right, so that means you had 2 babies in there, right? And both babies represented 2 different nations. All right, and those 2 babies were going to be separate. All right, which meaning both those nations were were going to be different from each other. All right, separate. All right, not the same nation but different nation. All right, and it said and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, and later on, that's where you got Jacob and Esau. All right, when you start reading down the furthermore. All right, And Esau is Edom. Edom is so-called white people, right? So indeed, you so-called white people did come from so-called black people, right? Believe it or not, all right? And if you take a DNA test, all right, you'll find out that the Negroes and the whites, they're both Shemitic, all right? So we're more closer to each other than any other nation, all right? Others like the black conservative commentator, Salaki, I can't read because my mouth is dry. Commentator George Shuler may have dismissed Elijah Muhammad as charlatan, but concealed in the ugly language of 1950s America, when anybody can get tens of thousands of Negroes to practice economic solitude, respect their own women, alter their atrocious liquor, stop crime, juvenile delinquency, and adultery, he is doing more for Negroes' welfare than any current Negro leader I know. In 1959, the same year that Shuler was writing, a teenage boxer called Cassius Clay first heard of the Nation of Islam. He tentatively attended his first meeting in 1961, and in 1964, the morning after, the 22-year-old 7-1 underdog stunned the world by defeating Sonny Liston to become heavyweight champion of the world. He announced that he had renounced his slave name, Cassius Clay, and joined the Nation of Islam. Beside him as he made his announcement was the man who had become his mentor, Malcolm X. Malcolm Little had entered a Charleston jail in 1946 as a hustler convicted of burglary. He had been paroled in 1952 as Malcolm X, a self-educated convert who had ditched his slave name and was burning to go to the Nation of Islam's Chicago headquarters and meet Elijah Muhammad. See, and Jake liked to be in all types of madness, man. Right? That was off, alright? It's always the Negroes, man. They love to be Islamic, man. Right? When the Arabs are not your people, man, and they don't like you and they don't want nothing to do with you, man. Alright? That's not your brothers, alright? And they don't care about you, alright? These Ishmaelites don't care about you, alright? You so-called Negroes, alright? Because they helped the so-called white man bring you here, alright? But by the time he met in 1962, Malcolm X was Elijah Muhammad's chief spokesman and most prominent apostle, which he was now apostle, alright? His belief that violence was sometimes necessary, and the Nation of Islam insists that followers remain separate from the and the Nation of Islam insists that followers remain separate from and avoid participation in American politics meant that not every civil rights leader welcomed Muhammad Ali joining the movement. Alright? Where it says his belief that violence was sometimes necessary, alright, which you can relate that, because the Most High said there's a time and place for everything, alright? So, in that case, you could agree with him on that, because, now we're in the time of hate, man, and you need violence, alright? You need war, alright, to overcome wickedness, man. Alright, if you want to get rid of wickedness, you're gonna have to go to war with wickedness in order to get rid of it, man. Alright? There's no peace. You can't agree with wickedness. Alright, you can't make a peace treaty with the so-called white man, alright, and have two kingdoms ruling, alright, because that's confusion, man. Alright? One kingdom's gonna have to take the other kingdom down. And how's that? Through violence, man. Alright, and the Lord said, America was founded on violence, alright, and it's going to go out by violence, alright, so violence is necessary, okay, hate is necessary. The Lord said there's a time of hate and there's a time of love, alright, and right now we're in the time of hate, we're not in the time of love. The time of love is going to come when we have the so-called white man and these other nations in slavery, right? That's when the time of love is going to come, man, and rejoice and being and happy and being joyful, and the fulfillment of being joyful, and loving our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, being amongst each other and loving each other, not harming each other, not hustling each other, not killing each other, not committing adultery amongst each other, not worshiping other gods amongst each other. All right. That's why we need Yahweh chains. All right. Joined the black Muslims. The Nation of Islam said Martin Luther King, he became a champion of racial segregation, and that is what we are fighting against. Martin Luther King was he was set up. All right, the apostles, even apostles, tell you brothers that Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, they were all set up, all right, by the wicked elite. All right. The bitter irony is that soon after providing the Nation of Islam with its most famous convert, Malcolm X became disillusioned with the movement. A trip to Mecca exposed him to white Muslims, shattering his belief that whites were inherently evil. You're gonna have white Muslims? See, Esau want to be everybody under the earth but Edomites. Alright? He broke from the Nation of Islam and toned down his speeches. Alright? He toned it down, man. Alright? He was a so-called white man, which shows you right there that, he was set up, man. Alright? Ali, though, remained faithful to Elijah Muhammad. Turning my back on Malcolm, he admitted years later, was one of the mistakes that I regret most in my life. He was never able to put it right. On February 21st, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated as he gave a speech at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. 3 members of the Nation of Islam were convicted of the killing. Prosecutors alleged that they had wanted to send a message to Malcolm X supporters, but the extent to which they did or did not take orders from above has not been conclusively proved. I'm also a bit dry. I haven't drank anything. I don't have anything to drink. I was all dry, but I'm almost done. However, have continued to soar. In 1993, Louis Farrakhan, by then Farrakhan, alright, that guy's an Uncle Tom, man. By then, the Nation of Islam's new leader was seen by some to acknowledge the possibility that the movement might somehow have been linked to Malcolm X's murder when he told a crowd of supporters, "We don't give a damn about no white man law if you attack what we love, and frankly, it ain't none of your business." Did you teach Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or ours? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours? By then, Ali's own attitudes to the blue-eyed devils had long since mellowed. In 1975, he converted to the far more conventional Sunni Islam, possibly promoted by the fact that Elijah Muhammad had died of congestive heart failure in the same year, and his son Warith Deen Muhammad had moved the Nation of Islam towards inclusion in the mainstream Islamic community. He rebranded the movement the World Community of Islam in the West, only for Farrakhan to break away in 1978 and create a new Nation of Islam, which he claimed remained true to the teachings of the Master Fard. Ali was not among Farrakhan's followers. The Nation of Islam taught that white people were devils. And they were right about that. He wrote in 2004, "I don't believe it now. In fact, I never really believed that. When I was young, I had seen and heard so many horrible stories about the white man and this made me stop and listen." The attentive listeners to the 1974 interview might in fact have sensed that even then Ali was internally convicted about white men being blue-eyed devils. He had, after all, set the bar pretty high for associates like Angelo Gandhi to become friends. I don't have one black friend hardly, he had. A friend is one who will not even consider before giving his life for you. See, and so-called white man will never give his life for the so-called Negro, alright? Because he hates the so-called black man, alright? And despite calling Parky, you're not gonna get that characteristic from Esau, alright? Esau kills his own people, man. It shows that he's the devil, man. Alright? He put his own people in slavery. What people put their own people in slavery, man? That shows that you so-called white people gotta go, man. Alright? You need to be put in slavery, alright? And it will happen because the Lord said it. Alright? The Lord wrote it down and it's gonna happen, alright? And despite calling Parky the biggest hypocrite in the world and a joke, he could also get a laugh by reasoning the chat show host, I know you are all right. Okay, that alright. But I had a couple scriptures lined up. Alright. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? Alright. And the wicked, alright, is you so-called white people, man. Alright. And Muhammad Ali, you so-called white people, alright. He said on that live interview, man, and he didn't care. Alright. You so-called white people claim you picture the Most High being a so-called white man. Who would do that? Knowing that the Most High is a so-called black man, you still have the nerve and audacity to color him so-called white. That's being the devil, man. That's being a deceiver, man. Alright? And the Most High is going to make you pay for that, man. Because you blaspheme his name, man. And the way he looks, man. And the way he looks, the way he looks, you know, the Most High doesn't look like you so-called white people, man. Alright? He's a so-called black man. Alright? And you're gonna pay for all that, man. Alright? Pay for you know, whitewashing, you know, the true images. Alright? You're just gonna pay for a lot of wicked things, man. You so-called white people have done. Alright? And that you're about to do, man, with your new world order, alright, which is gonna fail. Alright? Because the Most High is not going to let you fulfill your new world order 100%. You're only going to get but so far. Right? And that's where the Most High is going to crush you, man. Alright? But, you know, with that, you know, I like to give all praise to Yahweh by Shemi Al Shai, by Hashem HaKadosh, double honors to the apostles, GMS of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the elect of the four corners of the earth. Till next time, Shalom.